Hey, I'm April. I'm going to show you how we glaze pottery in my hand building classes. After the clay is bisque fired, the pieces can be prepared for glazing. The first optional step is sanding. We only do wet sanding so that hazardous dust is minimized. Sand any rough spots and then wipe clean with a damp sponge. Allow to dry before glazing. Glaze will get stuck to the kiln shelf, so we need to make sure there is no glaze on the bottom of our pieces. It's helpful to mark a safety line with a pencil. Graphite is going to burn away in the kiln. Apply wax to the bottom of pieces that you plan to dip in glaze. This will stop the glaze from soaking into the clay and greatly decrease your cleanup time. Apply just one thin coat and allow to dry. Most glazes will be applied either by brushing or dipping. All glazes need to be mixed well, so shake any bottles before using. Brush on 3 even coats, allowing to dry in between. Press and turn the piece into a damp sponge to remove any glaze from the bottom. I'm making notes on this bowl of what color I want it to be. And just for fun, I'm adding some tape, which will leave a design with the raw clay when I remove it. It's very important that you mix the bucket of glaze well. Plan to spend a couple minutes mixing. Hold the piece with tongs and dip in sideways. Don't touch the piece until the glaze has had time to dry. Each glaze has a suggested dipping time, and it's important to time it just right. Occasionally the glaze still covers the wax, but it's still not allowing it to be soaked into the clay, which will make it so much easier to wipe off at cleanup time. You can take a paintbrush to touch up any spots that need to be fixed. I'll remove this tape as soon as the bowl is dry enough to handle. Tong marks can be rubbed in once the glaze has dried. I'll also do this with glaze strips. Wipe all your bottoms with a clean, damp sponge. Take your time to make sure no glaze will touch the kiln shelf. And make sure you're cleaning up as you go so that you're not creating hazardous dust. These pieces will be transformed after firing. At this stage, it's hard to imagine what they will look like after firing, but with some practice, you'll have a better sense of what to expect.